Today we're going to be graphing rational functions. So a rational function is something that looks like this, y equals 1 over x. And below you can see that it has actually been graphed. There's always a point at 1, 1, as well as a point at -1, -1. And then there's two kind of asymptote lines. Asymptote lines are boundary lines. One is a horizontal across like this. So if you have a different color pen or pencil or a highlighter, if you can use that to draw your horizontal asymptote line across at y equals 0. And then you have a vertical asymptote that again goes through x equals 0. So again, it's a good idea to have either a colored pencil or a highlighter or a pen in a different color so you can draw those asymptote lines for today. And that's the most basic graph. And then, of course, everything shifts around. So just like normal, things can move right, left, or up, down. And this is the equation for that. So if you see a number inside the parentheses next to the little x, that's the h, and that tells you to move to the left or to the right. And remember, that one always has to be the opposite direction. So a minus actually means to move forward, and a positive actually means to move backwards or left. The number at the end, the k, actually means to move up or down, and that one is like it seems. So plus would move it up and minus would move it down. Let's take a look at these 6 examples below. Tell the transformation for each function. Problem number 1, the -2, the -2, that's kind of in that left-right position. So I'm going to move that to the right 2. And the +5 at the end tells me to move up 5. For problem 2, the x plus 8 means I'm going to move to the left 8. Remember, always the opposite. And then the -4 at the end tells me to move down 4. Problem number 3, there is no number inside the parenthesis besides that 1, which is always there. So this one's not going to shift to the right or left at all, but it is going to move up 2. For problem number 4, the -3 is going to tell me to move right 3. There is no number at the end, so I don't have to move up or down at all. Problem 5, this time there's just the number at the end, the -6. So that's going to move down 6. And the last one, problem number 6, the +1. That's inside the parentheses. That's going to tell me to move left 1 place. All right, and when we're talking about moving left 1 or down 6, we're actually talking about moving the asymptote lines, the blue lines that we drew above here. So that's how we're going to then graph the rest of our 2 points. So let's look at the backside. Graph each rational function, y equals 1 over x plus 4. So let's first figure out which direction this is going to be moving. That +4 means I'm going to need to move this to the left 4. So your line that was straight up and down going through 0 is now going to be moved over to the left 4, right here. And since we don't have to move up and down at all, I'm just going to draw a straight line right across at 0. If that doesn't make a lot of sense to you, think of the original point in the middle of the graph, right here, this dot. Think about that moving to the left 4. And then you could just create your asymptote lines from there. Okay. Once you have your asymptote lines drawn, we're just going to choose our 2 other points. From the middle, starting at that -4, where the 2 lines cross, you're going to go over 1, up 1. That represents the point 1, 1. And left 1, down 1 to represent the point -1, -1. Now, I know those aren't in that same location, but compared to where the graph crosses, it's in the same place comparatively. All right, problem number 8, the -3 at the end tells us we need to shift down 3. So since I'm not moving right or left at all, we'll leave our line right there in the middle where it is. But the line across is going to move to the down 3. Again, think about that point right there was in the center. Now it's down 3. And then with your different color or your regular pencil, from the middle where you have those two lines crossing, you go 1, 1, and -1, -1. And the purple lines there are asymptote lines. They are like the boundary lines. So our pink, our actual graph, doesn't cross those. Problem number 9. We're going to move right 7 for the x minus 7 and up 4 for the plus 4. So right 7 would put a line right here. Up 4 would put a line right there. And then 1, 1, -1, -1. So forward and up, backwards and down. You can extend this one longer if you want. You have more space, or you can make them the same size. As long as you have arrows at the end, remember it does continue moving on, so you can make it whatever size you need. Problem number 10. Left 5, up 6. See if you can draw the lines in the correct place. I'll give you just a moment. Left 5, up 6. -1, -1, -1. There we go.